On Big Brother All Stars, or the people that said yes, when the wall yeller yelled over and told us that Nicole was the one who flipped the vote, right? When they told us that, they immediately shut down the backyard, called all of us into the living room, and the producers got on the intercom, the speaker got on the intercom and was like, hey, we don't want you guys to talk about that. Like, don't have conversations about that because we don't want to make it part of the story. We don't want to feed the wall yellers. We don't want to give them energy. We want it to die down. We don't want them to think that if they yell over the wall, then they become a part of the show. We don't want that. That's really messy, and we don't want that. Now, if you choose to do it, then, you know, we're gonna have to make it a story, and you guys are gonna have to talk about this, and right? So basically, they were trying to deter us from talking about it, like heavily though. And so after this meeting, there were still people who were talking about it. People meaning me, Davon. I was still talking about this wall yeller, right? And so they started calling us into the diary room one by one, individually, to further emphasize, hey, we don't want y'all to talk about it. If you could come on the intercom and go to great lengths to tell us why it's not a good idea to discuss the wall yeller, and it's not a good idea to make them feel like they're a part of the show, and it's not a good idea to bring life to what they've done, then how come at no point did you think it was a wise idea to get on that intercom during Big Brother 15 when Candace was going through what she was going through? Or when Kimmy was going through what she was going through? Or when Bailey was going through what she was going through? Or when Dominique was going through what she was going through? Or when I was going through what I was going through? Or when Taylor is going through what she's currently going through? At no point are we going to call a house meeting, shut down the backyard, and get on the intercom, call people in the diary room individually, and have a conversation about why this needs to shut down immediately. Oh, we can't do that, because if we do that, then it interferes with the integrity of the game. Well, how does that interfere with the integrity of the game, Davon? Because it lets everybody know that, it lets Taylor know that everybody in the house doesn't like her, and it reveals that she's going on the block, and it reveals that she's going home, and that jeopardizes the integrity of the game. Are you serious?
I can give you so many examples of why it's rigged. Do you want me to give you the examples? It was Battle of the Block. We all were turning against Frankie. Frankie told the HOH at the time, Nicole, to put me up, to put me and Caleb up, right? And we found this out. So we all got together in the bathroom. We were like, dude, we gotta get Frankie out. And we went up to Nicole, the HOH, and we're like, yo, listen, we're gonna throw the competition. So put us on the block. We'll put Caleb on the block with Frankie. We're gonna throw the competition so then we can vote Frankie out. They're in the backyard building the competition. 5 hours go by, 6 hours go by, 12 hours go by. We're like, what's going on here? They set up an entire competition in the backyard, and then they literally take it completely down. They built a new competition. Caleb has this long monologue about how Frankie's a backstabber and how he's sitting this competition out. And then they reveal the competition, and Caleb's like, oh no, you know what? I'm not gonna sit it out, and I'm gonna ruin it for you, and I'm gonna make sure you don't win. And production stepped in, and production literally came out there, and they said, okay, you guys, Caleb, you can't play in the competition. And Caleb goes, what do you mean I can't play in the competition? I want to play in the competition to ruin it for Frankie. And they said, Caleb, you can't play in the competition. He's like, why? Why can't I play in the competition?
Wait, why couldn't he?
Yeah, exactly. It was easier by yourself, and Frankie won the big black box competition where, you know, there's people in there, whatever. Donnie ends up winning, and we hear production on the other side of the wall be like, yes, Donnie won. We did it, guys.
No.
Yeah. And we're like, really? It's extremely manipulated in the diary room. One day, Victoria comes out of the diary room, like crying. Oh my God, Zach. And I was the only one there. Zach, production just told me that everyone's talking shit about me and everyone's against me, telling me that production is telling her that everyone's talking shit about her. So like, what do I do? Because I'm the one who's been talking the most shit about her. What do I say? Like, oh, don't believe production. No. Not even 20 seconds later. Zach, please go to the diary room. I go in the diary room. They go, Zach, whatever Victoria just said, don't believe her. They go, Victoria, come back to the diary room. Victoria goes in the diary room. She comes back out of the diary room. And while she goes in there, I run up to the HOH room. I'm like, guys, guess what? Production. And they go, Zach, like, take off your microphone. They cut the feeds. They did all this stuff, right? Victoria walks right, Zach, I was lying. Production didn't tell me anything. Then Zach, come to the diary room. I go to the diary room and I started screaming at them. I'm like, you guys are fucking playing this bullshit. You guys are telling Victoria shit. Zach, we have the lead counsel attorney sitting with us right now. Like, we didn't do anything wrong. And I got in a fight with production because they were telling Victoria that people are talking shit about her. It's not only rigged on the competitions, it's super rigged in the diary room. There are people that are favored in the diary room.
You have to know the audition process, whether you're recruited or not, is just very long. 3 months, maybe 4.
You go through everything. You had your semifinal interview, then you were pitched to producers, and then you go through the process. You come to finals. You go through those processes. You do all of the testing. You meet all the producers.
All right, so tell us who you look for casting Big Brother.
We're always looking for a different group that mixes together. So it's all about the group. And it's extreme personalities. It's honestly, it's sort of the girl next door versus the, someone who could sort of be the villain. And it really is for us, we're rooting for the best story.
We have to pick and choose our stories carefully, what we're covering. We can never see everything or lay everything down to tape, even though cameras are rolling 24/7. So we make some really big decisions as to what's important for story that goes on upstairs in what we call our master control room. This is master control. This is where we watch everybody. This is NASA. It's a bit like NASA, isn't it?
Oh my God.
So you're seeing all of the cameras up on the wall here. We brought it up and laid it down to tape, and that's a decision that's being made here between the story team in this row back here, and our switchers and shaders down here, who are bringing up cameras. They're talking to those cameras we saw rolling around on the track. They're also controlling with joysticks the mechanical cameras. So they have to keep track of where everyone is and what the story is.
Brother 18, and I went to the diary room because that's supposed to be the safe space, right? I went to the diary room and I literally begged and pleaded with them to do something about Frank slapping me on my butt. And all they did was comfort me, or try to comfort me and tell me, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you. No, you're not, because if you weren't, you would have did something about it. And then to come home and find out that when I went into the diary room and I was confiding in them about how I felt, they turned around and used it on the show as a diary room session. Are you serious?
That are watching the show saying it's their show and they're going to call CBS. Like, guys, people have been calling CBS for years. They don't give a fuck.
Since the beginning. They do not
They don't
care.
give a fuck
They
about
don't
you.